Hello guys, my name is the Polish Gamer and welcome to a new video on the channel. This is going to be another album review. And well, since I finally got all those Nickelback albums out of the way, it's about time to review something different. So yeah, in this video I'm going to be covering something which I've wanted to cover for a while now, which is Metallica's 2003 album, which is called St.Anger, of course, yes. The album which everyone seems to hate. I mean, honestly, ask any metal fan what they think of this album. They would probably say it's shit for the following reasons. The poor production, the drums sounding like shit, like trash cans, no guitar solos on a 75-minute Metallica album to have no guitar solos. I mean, you begin to wonder if Kirk Hammett was even involved in the recording process. And then let's see what else. It's just the songs being too long and boring, and overall the album just being a mess. That's what everyone always says. But personally, for me, I've always liked this album. I'm one of those people who always defends it. Of course, it's not a perfect album by any means, but it really does not deserve all the hate it gets. It's really a misunderstood record, and in this video I will tell you why I think that. St.Anger is, just like the title suggests, a very angry album. It's one of the things about this album which people just don't seem to get. Like, the poor production quality is meant to sound poor. It's meant to sound raw, like a garage band got together for the first time. Of course, the only difference being the band is freaking Metallica. I believe that's actually what Bob Rock, who's the producer on this album, that's what he said. And, you know, like, James, this album was recorded in a very difficult period for the band, and James Hetfield in general, because he went to rehab during the recording process and stuff like that. Of course, Jason Newsted left the band right before the recording started, and just tensions were very high among the band members. They started to dislike each other, started to fight, all that kind of stuff. So it was a very bad period for the band. So all that anger went into this one album. You can totally tell. I mean, James's vocals sound so just pissed off. He's screaming, and sometimes it does sound a little weird. It doesn't always work well. It definitely works well in some other songs. There are some songs where it works better than it does in others. But overall, I think it's good. That's what I want to say. Like, I have no problem with the vocals overall. I mean, there are some moments where it's like, James, what are you doing? But for the most part, it's good. And you can totally tell, you can feel the emotion, the anger coming from Hetfield's voice. The drums, which everyone hates on because they sound like trash cans, you know, the snares. Of course, people always say that they just get a headache from it. And I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but personally, the drums never really annoyed me, like, at all. I think they just really fit in well with what the album is trying to be. A very angry album, like I've said before. It really just adds to the anger, like the bashing, everything. It just it really adds to it, in my opinion. Like, it's like, it's not bad. It's like a totally different, unique style, which, I mean, I understand why people dislike it, but for me, like I said, it just adds to the rawness of the album, you know? And overall, I think it's more of a positive for me. It just makes it seem more angry. Like, this album is just the perfect album to listen to whenever you're pissed off. You just feel it, and it helps you unwind. And the drums help with that. And then you have the next complaint, no guitar solos. I mean, okay, it is a little weird. I mean, it's Metallica, and the album is 75 minutes, and not a single guitar solo is to be found on it. But in my opinion, what this album is all about are the guitar riffs. The riffs are amazing on it, okay? Like the riff, the opening riff on, or just the main riff on Some Kind of Monster, which was of course also the name of the documentary about Metallica and like everything that, like, the entire process behind making this album, which I really recommend you guys go see. I've seen it a few times and it's a great documentary movie. But yeah, Some Kind of Monster, also Invisible Kid, like the guitar riffs all over the album are just so good and catchy. And I think that it's better to have a well-crafted overall song without a guitar solo than to just randomly add a guitar solo into a song that doesn't even fit. Like, I really don't think a guitar solo would have been able to properly fit onto any of these tracks here. So I think in the end it was a good decision to not go for a solo, even though I'm pretty sure that Kirk Hammett did want to get solos onto the album. Of course, that didn't happen. But like I said, like I just said, I think that was a good decision because they just wouldn't have fit in well. When I first heard this album, the first song I heard was the title track, St.Anger, which was also the lead single. I really did not understand why it was hated that much. I really liked St.Anger. The song was awesome. I really liked the contrast between, the slow quiet verses, and then when shit just goes crazy in the choruses, like fuck it all and no regrets, I hit the lights on these dark sets. It's just the perfect song for when you're feeling pissed off and angry at everything, it's just such a good album for that. Honestly, I don't understand, the production quality. It's just a raw and angry album, and people just don't understand that. It's such a misunderstood record. I know, okay, I understand it might not be your thing, okay, but to call it straight up, just call it a shit album, I just don't understand, man. Another thing which could be pretty annoying with this record are the lengths of all the songs. The songs on here are pretty damn long. Like I said, it's a 75-minute album and there are only 11 tracks on it, so some of these songs go on for a while, and I'm gonna have to agree, sometimes that does more damage than good. Honestly, some of these songs really could have been shorter. For instance, Some Kind of Monster, even though I think it's a great song, it opens up with a 2-minute instrumental for 2 minutes, and it's not that. I like the riff and everything, but to go on for 2 minutes, it's a little crazy. And there are many other moments on the album where the songs just go on for so long, everything gets repeated over and over. It does it way too much for its own good. When you listen to this album all the way throughout, you just start to get to feel a sense of deja vu in many of the tracks. Like I said, I'm not. The thing is, I don't necessarily hate it, but it is a little. I think it would. Sorry, I can't speak today. I'm a little rusty, but what I'm trying to say is, if these tracks would have been shorter, I think it would have done more good than bad, honestly. Honestly, some of these songs just go on so long, and you're like, okay, the song should end now, or something should just happen in the song right now, but it just goes on, and you're like, okay, what now? Do something different, end the song, whatever. Even though these songs are good, it's it's like listening to one part of a song on repeat. Doesn't matter how good it is, if you just keep listening to it over and over again, it's just bound to get old. I personally really prefer the first half of the album over the second half. Not saying that the second half is bad by any means, it's just that I think the first half has more memorable tracks like Frantic, St.Anger, Some Kind of Monster, Dirty Window, which is an amazing track. I really love the vocals on that one. Invisible Kid, which is super catchy. The guitar work on that is amazing, even though the vocals are not all that, the lyrics are not all that amazing, superb. I really do like just how catchy it is. It's one of my favorite things about it. It has a weird bridge near the end, which James just kind of starts singing clearly about, I don't know what to call it. You just gonna have to listen to it for yourself. It's weird, but well, I dig it. And after that, you got My World, and that's kind of where the midpoint of the album is. Then you get to the second half, and you got songs like Shoot Me Again, which, while I think it's a good song, it's definitely one of the least memorable ones, just because I think that the line "Shoot me again, I ain't dead yet," "Shoot me again, I ain't dead yet" gets repeated a little bit too much. And then you get to Sweet Amber, which is actually one of the better songs on the album as well. But I think it's the last two tracks, Purify and All Within My Hands, which are, in my opinion, the two weakest on the album, which kind of bring the second half down a bit. I think it also has something to do with the lengths. They're both pretty long tracks as well. So yeah, that's they're not bad, like I said. It's just I think that they're a little bit weaker, and they suffer from most of the song length and repetitive issues that I've covered before. But overall, I really think that this album does not deserve the hate it gets. I mean, it's just such a misunderstood record. I've probably said that like a billion times already. God damn it. I am starting to get repetitive now. But yeah, St.Anger, honestly, I don't know why people hate it. I will always defend the album. It's not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a very good album in my opinion, and it does not deserve to just get completely left behind by the entire metal fan base. You know, honestly, it's a good record. I mean, one thing you can say for sure is that it's better than Megadeth's Risk. I mean, at least this album doesn't put you to sleep. Far from it. But yeah, overall, I think I would give this album a 7.5 out of 10, a decent grade. I'm not gonna go too overboard and give it an 8 or something because I'm trying to because I understand why people hate it. Okay, I know why people dislike it, but I think that it's an album that's just not for everybody. But just because it's not for you doesn't really mean that it's bad. Like, I really like this album. I know why people don't like it, but for me, it's great. So I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's a fair score. And yeah, tell me in the comments below what you guys think of the album. I mean, do you guys think it's shit? Do you guys think it's actually pretty good? Or are you guys kind of in between? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below, but this has been the video. It's been kind of short, but I don't know, some of my latest reviews have been pretty long, so I kind of wanted to keep this one a little bit on the shorter side. But my name is the Polish Gamer. Hope you guys enjoyed. I want to really start making more videos again. Of course, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm going to do my best to, you know, make some more album reviews, whatever, maybe start another Let's Play, stuff like that. But that's going to be for the future. Right now, for this video, this is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. My name is the Polish Gamer, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye!